Hey everybody, this is the second part of the tackle slash battery box build. Just a quick note, I'm in a club called the LIKBF. We're based out on Long Island. We're kayak bass fishing, and we're really trying to grow the club. We're trying to help people out who may be starting or not have as much knowledge as some of our better fishermen do. So we want to, share information, share builds, share product reviews, techniques, everything that we could possibly do to help out other people who may not have a mentor in fishing or may just be starting and are a little intimidated. I know they've helped me out a lot. They've helped me use techniques that I normally wouldn't or were intimidated by. So check us out, see what we're all about. It's a great club, and hopefully we could help you with something you may not know or some info you want to find out. LIKBF.com. Okay, so here's the battery box. I've plugged in my trolling motor. I have it connected. Here's a shot of the trolling motor. I made this mount. I'm going to do a video on that as well, but there's the trolling motor plugged in. And on this side, I have the umbilical cord connected to this unit, which has a forward reverse on off switch, as well as a variable knob for adjusting the speed. The beauty of it is I can adjust the speed in any increment I want, as small as I want, because of this. This is a speed control unit. It is called a PWM, which stands for Pulse Width Modulator. And basically what it does is you connect it to the batteries, and via this knob and the internal circuitry, it will turn the power on and off at different speeds. And what happens is, let's say your full speed is, or the highest voltage is 12 volts. Then you turn it off at 0. Well, if you average that out over, let's say, a millisecond, the average is 6 volts, because the top is 12, the bottom 0, the average is 6. So in that span of time, you're only feeding the trolling motor 6 volts. Now this happens thousands of times a second. And what you can do is you're adjusting the on and off amount, and that will adjust the voltage going to the trolling motor. And the beauty of it is it's not draining extra power. A lot of units, if it uses coils or resistors, will actually drain the battery, will use power when it shouldn't be. But this unit, this system, pulse width modulation, does not do that. The unit itself, the electronics, use next to no power, so that's not a problem with draining the battery. This will last for days without draining the battery. These wires came with the unit. They were pre-wired actually to this switch and this knob, and what I did was I extended the cable. You see where those yellow, orange, and black and red wires, that's where the knob and switch were connected to. So I just put another connector in line and use those gray cables to extend it over to this connector, and then down the line to this. So basically all I did was extend it so that this will be next to my seat when I'm fishing, and the battery box itself and the tackle box that goes on top of it will be behind my seat. So it's a remote control, speed control, whatever you want to call it. So I have 2 batteries. They are 20 amp hour batteries, so that's 40 amp hours. The trolling motor I went with is only 18 pounds, and the reason I did that is that the misconception that a lot of people have with trolling motors is that the bigger you go, the faster you go. That's not the case. A 30-pound trolling motor versus a 50-pound trolling motor won't make you go any faster. What it means is that you can push a much bigger boat, but the speed that you get pushed at, and this goes for a rowboat, a bigger boat, whatever boat you're pushing, will not go faster. It just means that it can push a bigger boat. So that's a common misconception. So that's the reason that I decided to go with 18, because that was actually the smallest one I could find. It's made by Water Snake from Australia, I believe, but they do sell it under a different name here in the US. It's sold under, I believe, Sevalor and also Coleman for some reason. I don't know why, but Coleman has it under their name also. So those are it's called a T18, I believe, and it's Water Snake. So if you want to Google it and check it out, you can you'll find it. Just Google 18-pound trolling motor. And the reason I went with that is that it only uses 10 amps. A 30-pound trolling motor uses, I believe, 30 amps. That's just a coincidence that the numbers are the same. But at 30 amp, I have 40 amp hours of power. If I had a 30-pound trolling motor on here, I would only be able to use it at full speed for maybe an hour, hour and a half. Whereas mine at 10 amps, I can use it for 4 hours. So I could run this, theoretically, I could run this for 4 hours straight at high speed before I drain the batteries. So I'm assuming that this motor is going to move me about, I'm hoping, best case scenario, about 2.5 miles an hour. Whereas a 30-pound might move me 3. So I'd much rather have the longer time than the half a mile difference, maybe, if I'm lucky. So that's the reason I went with the smaller trolling motor. The other reason is that I don't need huge batteries. Don't get me wrong, these are heavy. You know, this entire box weighs just under 30 pounds. So that is a lot of weight. But when you consider that a full-size marine battery that you should probably use if you use a 30-pound trolling motor would weigh at least 50 pounds, just the motor, just the battery. So that's why I went this route. I wanted it in a compact box. I don't think I'm going to use it anywhere near that amount of time. I'm going to be you know, paddling as well. I just wanted this to be able to troll, literally to troll, and then also move from spot to spot if I want to break from paddling. So it should work out great. Just some notes on the unit. I know the wiring looks complicated, but it really isn't. It's just power into the pulse width modulator. The power comes out and goes to the trolling motor. And in line, I've got a circuit breaker just in case, as well as an on-off switch to kill power completely to everything. And then right here, this is a smaller fuse I have, which goes to this connector over here, which is going to power my fish finder, which is also going to be forward of my seat. These connectors are computer UPS battery connectors. They're designed for quick disconnect. They're super heavy duty. They're fantastic. I got those on Amazon. I will try to make a list of all the parts I used with links, but I got those on Amazon. I think they were around $8 for a pair. Well worth it. And I also got the PWM on Amazon as well. Oh, the other thing is too, this foam, I don't know, you should be able to see it. This foam, DeWalt sells, it fits in this box perfectly around all the corners, just perfectly. And then what it has cubes, small cubes, which you can pop out to fit anything you want in here. It's a little pricey. I think it's like 18 bucks, and you might say, well, 18 bucks for a piece of foam. Believe me, the amount of time that you save having this and just being able to pop out those blocks to fit the batteries in is more than worth it. Everything is snug. The batteries don't move at all. And then the excess blocks I had, I actually glued to the lid to push down on the battery so that everything is solid. Nothing moves. So definitely spring for the extra money and get that foam insert. The boxes themselves, I was really surprised at how cheap they are. This one, I believe, was, I'm going to say around 20 bucks, give or take $5. It might even have been less. I don't remember. The bigger box that goes on top was, I think, $29. I was kind of shocked, actually, that how cheap it was. So, highly recommend it. I know when you buy boxes that are specifically made by companies for kayaks, you know, they can run in the in the hundreds. So highly recommend this unit. I haven't used it yet. I hope it works out great. Hope this inspired somebody else to do it. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to help you out if I can. And again, visit us on LIKBF.com, and there's some other videos posted at the moment that might help you out with fishing techniques, etc. So hopefully we'll hear from you, and send me some positive feedback. Thanks.